What's going on, YouTube? So we are going to do a review today of some of the things about the Ram 2500. So we bought this truck not even a week ago, actually. We picked it up last Friday, and I absolutely love this truck. I think it's awesome. I've had 2500s and 3500s in the past, and so far really loving the truck. There are a few things though that I don't like. It's only been, I think, 4 or 5 days, and I've already got a few things I don't like. So let's review the 4 or 5 things that I'm not liking on the new Ram 2500. Alright, gang, so before I get into a few of the things that I don't like, let's talk about a few things I do like. I absolutely love these Ram boxes. Really didn't at first, years ago when I saw them, but honestly they've grown on me. They are really great for storing stuff, keeping stuff out of the cab. Right now I just have some miscellaneous stuff in here, some extra DEF fluid I got from the dealership. They're really cool. They've got a light here that you can turn on so that you can see in here at nighttime. They actually have a drain plug in the bottom, so underneath all this, I guess I could show you. Underneath all of this, there is a area where there's a little plug in the bottom where you can actually drain these. So you could fill these up. I've actually got a friend of mine who's used them as coolers before. That works. And if for some reason you or somebody gets locked in there, it does have an emergency escape hatch, just like a trunk does, so that's good to see. So loving the Ram boxes. I do like this divider. There's a tailgate extender in the back that locks, so there's a lock on here that you can turn. It uses the same key as the ignition, which is great. I like the tie downs and the whole bed rail system. I do want to see what I can find in terms of accessories. I'd like to get a tonneau cover that kind of fits in here flush, but I haven't been able to find one. So if you have any info on that, please share or comment and let me know. I've looked at a few different companies, but nobody has one that fits right into this factory rail system. So want to check that out. We will be doing a full-blown review of the truck pretty soon, so I'll save some of that for the bigger review. I guess a couple of the things I don't like about the new Ram 2500. So this is the limited version, as you see, the limited version with the tungsten package on it. And so the good news and bad news about that is that it comes with a lot of limited features, upgraded trim package, chrome in various areas. But it also comes with the tungsten, comes with this light interior, and I don't mind the light as much on the seats. I would have actually preferred a all black leather interior, but from what I saw, you could not get a tungsten package limited with a black interior. I think that's the whole idea, is that it comes like this as a package. So the problems with that are that while the seats, or excuse me, while the floor and the carpets are all black, they've got these floor mats that are light, really light colored, and they are like a Berber color, so hopefully they're somewhat resilient to dust. But why would you put a work truck like this, why would you put light carpet on the ground? I've just, in some light stuff I've done the last few days, I've already noticed that the carpets are wanting to get a little dirty. I think they're okay so far. Yeah, but I could really see how that would get discolored over time. So I did go online on Amazon. I bought a set of Ram heavy-duty rubber floor mats that'll go all the way across. I'll probably take those factory ones out. Well, I guess the other ones are factory too, but I'll take these original ones out, keep the lighter colored ones put away, and then maybe take those out again someday, but keep the rubber ones in for now. So that's one thing I don't like, is the light colored floor mats. Not sure why they do that. The light color seats are okay. Would prefer, you know, darker, but I'll be able to live with that. All in all, it looks, you know, looks nice in the view. All right, the next thing that I would say that I don't really care for too much, and I probably should have spent a little bit more time researching, was, so this is the mega cab. So there's crew cabs, there's extended cabs. This truck has the mega cab, which, you know, gives it this extra space from here to here. And the problem with that is that down here underneath the seat, it doesn't fold up the way like the extended or the crew cabs do. You know, in the crew cabs, you're able to just flip the seat up, and then you can put items in here, you know, put whatever your stuff is. So I've used in the past, I've put my bikes, I put bikes in the back here, and, you know, there's plenty of room from floor to ceiling. The problem with this is that if you notice, this whole thing is on a hinge system, and it doesn't easily tip out of the way. So this whole unit and apparatus is all you know, bolted down to the ground. And to fold these forward, I'll try to demonstrate here, 1 second. All right, so just to demonstrate how you fold these forward, this lever looks like it would be used, but this is actually just used for the seat recline. And so this one you don't use at all for the tilt function. The first thing you got to do is up here on the back, there's a lever you pull to fold this seat down. That worked okay. You know, I'm a big guy, so my seat's way back, I'm tall, and so sometimes I find this hits a little bit. That's not that bad. But then there's another lever down here that you pull, and this whole unit comes forward and down like that. And so the fairly easy to come straight forward, and you can imagine what it would look like if the other side was down as well. But, you know, the issue or the problem with this is this: if you needed that floor to ceiling height, you've lost probably a good 14 inches or so from the floor to the ceiling. You are able to get a nice flat surface here, and I've even heard of some people say they're putting like twin size mattresses on here, so people that are traveling or driving a lot, you can actually put, like, I guess, a real small mattress in here and try to sleep on this. I'm 6'3", so I don't think that's going to be happening. But behind the seat, you've got some storage area. You've got this little compartment that opens up. I think that runs the full length of the cab. And then to get these things back up again, it's actually not easy either. So I found that it was a little bit tricky. We'll try to do that now. So to get it back up, I think I've tried to do, you know, kind of reverse it or undo it the way we did it, but that doesn't work. You're not able to pull this and get it back up. You actually have to tilt this first, and now I start to get it rubbing on the seat, and that's where I was running into issues. So unless you can somehow, well, I guess you can lift this in one motion and get that seat back. I guess once you get to that point, it kind of stops. Then you can tilt the seat up, and then the whole thing kind of locks into place. And it looks like I've got to adjust the tilt a little bit here, which is stiff, mostly just because it's new. But that's it. So, you know, all in all, I mean, I like the mega cab for the space. There's a ridiculous amount of room back here. I'm 6'3", and I've got my front seat way back, and there's all kinds of room back here for 3 people easily. But you know, I guess the trade-off for that is you lose a little bit of the cargo space when you want to fold up the seats. So that's one of the things that I'm not a huge fan of, but obviously at this point have to live with. All right, guys, a couple other things. So now we're inside the truck, and I'm going to turn the air on. It's actually a nice day here in Chicago, so hopefully cool down a little bit here. But one of the couple things on the inside that I'm still kind of getting used to or not a big fan of. So some are stupid little trivial things, but so I use a radar detector, and I am used to having some type of a plug that you can plug your radar detector into. And unfortunately in the case here, it's way down in this compartment, which strings out your power cable, and there's only one of them that's inside here. You know, and that particular compartment actually has a door on it so that it can close, but you know, obviously if you did that, you start to pinch off that cable. And there's no other, as much as there's space here, there's all kinds of space and storage. There's there's no additional 12-volt power to power the radar detector. So I suppose I could probably hardwire it into the mirror, or run it along the dash, or maybe tap into something behind or underneath the dash, run it down and into the tap box there. But yeah, that's it. So it does have 110 volt power, which is great for like laptops and stuff like that, or if you have your normal 110 plug-in for your iPhone or something, you can do that as well. But again, the trade-off is we should probably have a 12 volt for the radar detector or other accessories like that. Probably up here a little bit more outside of this this box that they have. They do have, I guess maybe this is part of the trade-off. Maybe this is an upgrade and I don't realize it, but this little compartment here, and there's another one over there for the passenger, and I'm not really sure what, this is, it's fairly small. It's not really deep enough to put a pen or anything like that in. You could, but it'd be sticking out of there. So maybe something small, I don't know. I think my wife will put her lip gloss in there probably, but aside from something like that, chapstick or something like that, I'm not really sure what you'd put in there. I would easily trade this for one, maybe even two 12-volt power adapters so that I can plug in accessories. Now, they do have other accessories here. By the way, this is pretty cool. This is a iPhone holder or a phone holder. It just kind of pressure drops in there, which is nice. In the past, I've had to buy phone mounts that you put all over the dash, and don't like those. So this is super nice. It just pops in, and there's like a little pressure fitting there. It easily comes right out, and that's what it's designed for, which is cool. So they do have underneath here a little area underneath the center console where you've got a couple USBs, but again, no more 12-volt power plugins, and I don't think we even have one. No. So under here we've got our CD changer or CD player, and again, no additional power ports. So this truck, being a functional kind of utility truck, only has one 12-volt power. So that's a disappointment. I looked over here, there's nothing over here either. Maybe something there would have been natural, and they just don't have it. So unless I'm missing it, I've looked all around, but don't see it. So that's another thing I'm not a big fan of. One of the other things is the rear view mirrors. I have seen other people do reviews on this as well. So these are the, kind of the towing mirrors. They've got two panels in the mirror, and the left side of the panel is really just kind of a normal mirror, and then the right is a wide angle. And I find that, I guess here's the back of the vehicle. There is a bit of a blind spot. I find that it seems like when I'm driving, it's tough to tell. Either the distance looks distorted, so people look much further away than they are, or it's kind of confusing because you see both images in both mirrors at the same time. And I know the one on the right's meant to help you kind of see where your tires are tracking and when you're cornering, things like that. But not a big fan of them so far. I'm going to drive here in a second. I'll give you a live look at what that looks like, so you can get a feel for it. Alright, so not sure it's going to come through in video or not, but the mirrors, as I had mentioned, are a little challenging. The zoom and the distance, it seems like there's a bigger blind spot there than you would expect too. I find that when you're looking at them, when you're in the vehicle looking at them, it almost like you get double vision looking at them, because they're both showing a very similar picture. And maybe I just simply need to adjust the wide angle lens to be a little bit more out so that it shows me more of the blind spot. Right now I've got it showing so I can see where the trailer is tracking. I am towing a trailer right now, so you can see where the trailer is tracking. But do find it to be, it's not optimal. Maybe I need to adjust this other mirror out a little bit as well, just so I can see more and reveal more of the blind spot. But that's another thing that I haven't been a big fan of. The one on the driver's side is actually very similar, but I don't find that to be as big of an issue. So maybe the magnification is different on the passenger versus the driver. So I noticed too, it doesn't say images in mirror are maybe closer than they appear. They must have stopped doing that on mirrors now, but that don't have that message on either one of these at this point. So anyways, the mirrors would be another thing that I would probably say are kind of a complaint after 4 or 5 days driving with the truck. Alright, so looks like the floor mats for the Ram just came in. That is a huge box. I guess there's no folding these up. So let's go cut this box open and check it out, see what's inside. There they are. They are huge. That's the center of the back seat, I think. Maybe one side of the back seat. And these are the driver's side and passenger side. They got this cool Ram logo on them. High sides to be very protective. The ones for the back are interlocking. They have this little interlocking system so they fit together. So that's cool. We'll put these in the truck and see what they look like. Definitely be better than the lighter colored ones for the dirt. Alright gang, so let's check these out and see what these floor mats look like in the truck. Let's compare it to the factory ones. So again, these are the factory ones. They just clip in, clip out, pretty straightforward. I think this insert piece actually snaps out of here as well, so it probably makes it a little easier for cleaning. But these are the new ones, and I guess I need this one. So this is what the new ones will look like. They've got the same little hook areas here. I'll have to cut this strip off, but those are actually really nice. They come way up on the sides. And yeah, those are actually really nice. So black, all rubber, so they'll hopefully keep the floor clean. I won't have to worry about the lighter colored ones. I mean, they look nice, but just again, light floor mats in a work truck doesn't make sense. So we'll see how I like these, and maybe I'll do a review on how things are going with the truck in 6 months. We'll see how these are holding up. Alright gang, so that is a few of the things, a weekend, a few of the things that I'm not liking so much about the Ram. But to be crystal clear, I love this truck, so I'm being nitpicky. I would not reverse my decision. I would buy it again right now in a second. So love the truck. It's getting a little dirty, but it's just really a tough truck. I don't know if and what I'm going to do in terms of modifications for it. Part of me wants to do tires and stuff on it, but you know, I also really like the factory look, the factory stance, and I'm not sure I want to change anything. It does have, and I'll be doing a review on the truck, it does have adjustable air suspension, so automatically adjust the leveling for trailering and stuff like that. And you know, I think when you start messing around with lift kits and tires, you start to distort that a little bit, so not sure I really want to disrupt that. I kind of like it the way it is. And so leaning towards leaving it stock, but time will tell. We'll see. So that is it. Again, thanks if you are watching this. You know, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching the channel, and look forward to bringing you more content here in the future. If you haven't already, check us out on Instagram as well, at Chicago Mopar, for more pictures or videos of the Ram, the Demon, as well as the Trackhawk, which is parked in the garage right now. So take care.